Now dear students, today we are going to understand concept of instantaneous center. In the previous class, we have understood the relative velocity and acceleration diagram. But today we are going to understand how to find out velocity, either absolute or relative velocity, as well as angular velocity with the help of instantaneous center method. So for that, let us consider three bodies. First one, this is second one, and this is third one, where I am going to name these bodies as body P, this is Q, and this is R. Now I am going to take, or I am going to firstly consider the relative motion of body P with respect to R. Let me say, with respect to this imaginary center, keep these words in your mind, imaginary center, the velocity PR will be in this direction. So this is velocity P in this particular direction. Now keep or just forget body P, consider motion of body Q with respect to body R. So its instantaneous center is, or imaginary center is here, and body is moving in this direction. So this is instantaneous center P with respect to R, instantaneous center Q with respect to R, and this is, let me consider the relative motion of body P and body R, just forgetting about body R. P and Q, motion of P and Q. So with respect to this center, the relative motion occurs. But at this point, we can observe that this is the instantaneous center of P with respect to Q. So here we can observe that at this point, both velocity vectors are in opposite direction, or they are in different direction, and that is not true. It should be in a one direction. That means, according to Kennedy's theorem, when three bodies are having relative motion with respect to each other, their instantaneous center must lie on a same line, on a same straight line. So I PQ must be on this particular line. That means IPR, PQ and QR, they must be collinear. Okay? So this is what Kennedy's theorem state, and here we have understood the concept of instantaneous center, an imaginary center with respect to which the current configuration velocity diagram can be learned. Now for 4-bar chain mechanism, single slider mechanism, or the mechanism which is having 6 links, 8 links, 9 links, 10 links, how do we come to know that how many instantaneous centers are there? So number of instantaneous center can be find out by using this relation. Number of instantaneous center is equal to number of link multiply by number of link minus 1 whole divided by 2. Let us consider a case of 4-bar chain mechanism. Fulcrum, crank or a rotating link. This is link number 1. This is link number 2. This is link number 3, and this one is link number 4, which is available. So there are 4 links. Link number 2, it rotates in clockwise direction with certain RPM. All the dimensions are available, so the configuration diagram can be easily prepared. Now number of link, there are 4 links, so number of instantaneous center is equal to 4 multiply by 3 divide by 2 is equal to 6 instantaneous centers. Okay, so for that draw a circle and with the help of 4 entities, which geometrical shape can be prepared. We know that either square or rectangle. So just point out them in that particular geometrical shape. Here a rectangle is formed. No worry, this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now the fulcrum, see there are 3 types of instantaneous centers. First one is permanent. First one is fixed. The second one is permanent, and the third one is neither fixed nor permanent. Neither fixed nor permanent. So when the fulcrum is there, it is a fixed instantaneous center for link 1 and link 2. So it is being written as 1, 2. Instantaneous center 1, 2, fixed one. This is pin joint. So at pin we have permanent instantaneous center. So permanent instantaneous center 2, 3. Here it is 3, 4, and here it is 1, 4. Now what happens when it rotates this 2, 3 with respect to this 2, 3 instantaneous center? This link have achieved this particular location. Likewise, but 1, 2 instantaneous center is not going to change its orientation. Okay, so 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 and 1, 4, they are available. So 1, 2 I have joined, 1, 4 it is available, so I have joined, 3, 4 available, I have joined with dark line, and 2, 3 with dark line. But what about the others? they are diagonals, but they are neither fixed nor permanent. That means they are presently not available. Just looking at the diagram, we have to create it. How? Suppose I want to find out instantaneous center 1, 3. So just forget about this portion. Think this triangle 1, 4, 3. So by joining 1, 4 and 3, 4, I can find out 1, 3. So 1, 4 and 3, 4. That means extend this line. Extend this instantaneous center line. And now see this triangle. Extend instantaneous center 1, 2 and 2, 3. 1, 2 and 2, 3. So extend it. Yes. So here we have instantaneous center 1, 3. 1, 3 instantaneous center is here. So this link number 3 will going to rotate or oscillate with respect to link number 1 with the help of this instantaneous center. Now in the same way we can find out 2, 4 also. So for 2, 4, firstly the upper triangle part 1, 2 and 1, 4. 1, 2 and 1, 4. So extend them. And 2, 3, 3, 4. Where is 2, 3? 2, 3 and 3, 4. So extend it. So when we extend it, here we have instantaneous center 2, 4. Okay, instantaneous center 2, 4. So this will going to control the motion of link 2 and link 4. Okay, so how to locate instantaneous centers and how to determine the new instantaneous centers, probable instantaneous centers, it is now clear in our mind. We know the omega 2. Omega 2 is, let us say, 100 rpm. It is available. So what I can do? I can find out velocity 2, 4. Velocity 2, 4. Instantaneous center 2, 4. V is equal to r omega. So omega 2 is available. Omega 2 is available. Okay. So where is 2, 4? So 2, 4 minus 1, 2. Okay. So 2, 4 minus 1, 2. That means you have to measure 2, 4 on the diagram itself and 1, 2. 2, when 2 is known to us, omega 2 is available, that means it is always with respect to a fixed link. So this instantaneous center, a fixed instantaneous center that is available. So 2, 4 minus 1, 2, when we do this, we are having this value. Now on the other end, with respect to instantaneous center 2, 4, I can have omega 4 into, it is 4. So 2, 4 minus 1, 4. Where is 1, 4? Here it is. And where is 2, 4? Here it is. So measure this distance, put it here. omega 4 value. Now on the right hand side, when we take a ratio on the right hand side, when we divide them, so what happens? So on the right hand side, they will nullify each other. So omega 4 will go here. That means omega 4 is inversely proportional to its instantaneous center difference, and omega 2, it is also inversely proportional to this. This is very very useful when you are asked to find out angular velocity of one particular link. Omega 2 is available, so apply this rule, and omega 4 will now be available. In the same way, velocity can be find out by using this method. Omega 2 is available, we can measure this distance, so velocity 2 4 is available. Okay.